A very good morning to all my dear students. First of all, happy Basant Panchami to all of you, beta. May this occasion brings a lot of huge wealth of knowledge for you. I pray to Goddess Saraswati to have a blessing on you of all her divine quality. Once again, beta, happy Basant Panchami. Especially the students of Bihar, West Bengal, Punjab, and Haryana, this festival is celebrated in a full swing. Especially those students. Once again, beta, happy Vasant Panchami to all of you. Chali beta. So let's start the third session on standard costing. We have already covered two major topics in this particular chapter, that is planning and operational variance. We have already completed. In the last session also, we have covered some of the questions related to planning and operational variance. The next important topic in this particular chapter is variance analysis in ABC environment. If your organization has already implemented activity-based costing, then how variances will be computed? We have already gone through that beta. One or two questions are left related to that particular topic. We will start our lecture with that question only. And thereafter, the most important topic of this particular chapter is reconciliation statement. Yes. In reconciliation statement, we will reconcile the budgeted profit with the actual profit through different variances. And especially, there are three approaches in our syllabus through which we will prepare the reconciliation statement: absorption costing, marginal costing, and relevant costing. Okay, beta. So let's start the lecture with the question we left on the last session. That is question number 10, beta. How many students have tried this question on their own? I have given an assignment that you must try this question on your home. How many students have tried this question? Question number 10, available in page number 57. Please communicate, beta. Nisha, good morning, beta. Blessings. Surya Lodi, good morning, beta. If you want that question number 10 is to be done in the class, please let me know, beta. Definitely, we will start today's session with that question only. Please revert fast, beta. I'm waiting for your answer. Okay, Priya has completed question number 10. Great, Priya. Congratulations, beta. What about other students? Freya, Nisha, Priyanka, Manas? Can I assume that question number 10 has been done by you, beta? Okay. So now we can start the next topic, that is reconciliation statement. Since all of the students have already completed question number 10, then there is no sense in doing that question once again in the class. We will focus more on the reconciliation statement. Please give the heading in your copy, beta. Reconciliation statement. Reconciliation statement. What is reconciliation statement? We will reconcile the budgeted profit with the actual profit through different types of variances. As I already told you at the start of the lecture, there are total three approaches in reconciliation statement. All the three approach will analyze the budgeted profit with the actual profit. Okay, but the technique is different. The techniques are absorption costing, marginal costing, and relevant costing. Okay, please write down in your copy, beta. In this reconciliation statement, we will reconcile the budgeted profit with actual profit. We will reconcile the budgeted profit with actual profit through different variances. Write down second point, beta. There are three approaches to prepare. Second point, there are three approaches to prepare a reconciliation statement. There are three approaches to prepare a reconciliation statement. वन बाय वन लिखना है बेटा आपको, और एक एक लाइन ड्रॉप करके. अप्रोच नंबर 1 नेक्स्ट लाइन में लिखे. अप्रोच नंबर 1 एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग. अप्रोच नंबर 1 एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग. अप्रोच नंबर 2 marginal costing. Approach number 2 marginal costing. And approach number 3 relevant costing. Absorption costing, marginal costing and relevant costing. फिर लिखिए बेटा आप, rule for preparing reconciliation statement. Rule for preparing reconciliation statement. The very first one, compute budgeted profit and actual profit. Budgeted profit and actual profit if not given in the question. Always remember beta, in reconciliation statement, no data will be find out through balancing figure. No data. In reconciliation statement, no data will be find out through balancing figure. Suppose there are 12 items. We know the value of 11th item. The remaining 12th item cannot be find out numerically through balancing figure. Because it's a reconciliation statement, we should know the numerical value of all the 12 items. 12 items, I have taken the example beta. We should know all the 12 items, then only reconciliation statement will be prepared. So always keep in mind, whatever reconciliation you are preparing, not only in this standard costing, there will not be any numerical data that can be find out through balancing figure. So compute the budgeted profit and actual profit if not given in the question. Second point, all favorable variances will be added while all adverse variances will be deducted. The logic is very simple beta. If the variance is favorably, it will reduce your budgeted profit, so it will be decreased. So all the favorable variance, whether it's related to cost or sale, it doesn't matter. All the favorable variance will be added while all the adverse variance will be deducted. Third point. There will be two variances for every type of cost and sales. It means for raw material variances, we are having raw material usage variance, raw material price variance. For labor variances, we are having labor efficiency variance and labor rate variance. तो जितने भी element of cost है, material, labor, variable overhead, fixed overhead, सभी के दो वेरिएंस निकलेंगे, इंक्लूडिंग सेल्स के भी हमें दो वेरिएंस यहाँ पे फाइंड आउट करना है. क्लियर है बेटा? चलिए अब आते हैं अपन रिकंसिलिएशन स्टेटमेंट के फॉर्मेट में, है ना. फॉर्मेट हेडिंग दीजिए आप. Format of reconciliation statement. Give the heading reconciliation statement. So first of all, we are starting the normal method, very common method, that is absorption costing method, that is reconciliation through absorption costing method. Methods. Absorption costing. So we will start this reconciliation statement with budgeted profit. And end this statement with actual profit. So it's the reconciliation statement of profit, budgeted profit reconciled with the actual profit. So whatever method we are using, whether we are using the absorption costing method, marginal costing method, or the relevant costing method, always we will reconcile the budgeted profit with the actual profit. Okay, beta. Second rule, all the favorable variances, whether they are related with cost or whether they are related with sale, all the favorable variances will be added, while all the adverse variance will be deducted. Okay. And the third rule, there will be two variance for every element of cost and sales. So let's start with the material. रॉ मटेरियल में हमारे पास दो वेरिएंस रहेंगे, मटेरियल यूसेज वेरिएंस एंड मटेरियल प्राइस वेरिएंस. ओके. लेबर में भी हमारे पास दो वेरिएंस रहने वाले हैं, लेबर एफिशिएंसी वेरिएंस एंड नेक्स्ट बोलिए लेबर रेट वेरिएंस. वेरिएबल ओवरहेड में भी हमारे पास दो वेरिएंस रहेंगे, efficiency variance and expenditure variance. Efficiency variance and expenditure variance. Fixed overhead में दो वेरिएंस रहने वाले बेटा, वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस and expenditure variance. सेल्स में वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस एंड प्राइस वेरिएंस. हर एलिमेंट ऑफ कॉस्ट के दो वेरिएंस, whether that is related with raw material, labor, variable or fixed और सेल्स में भी दो वेरिएंस. ठीक है बेटा. सो ये आपका एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग का स्टेटमेंट कंप्लीट होता है. यहां पे बजटेड प्रॉफिट, यहां पे एक्चुअल प्रॉफिट, और ये सभी वेरिएंस कवर्ड होंगे आपके एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग स्टेटमेंट में. In case a fixed overhead is not given in the question, so definitely there will be a total of 8 variance. In case variable overhead and fixed overhead are not given, then 2 plus 2, 4, and sales, 2 variance. There will be total sales area. अगर वो element of cost दिया है, then there will be 2 variances related to that element of cost. If that element of cost is not given in the question, then definitely there cannot be any variance related to that element of cost. So maximum 10 variance आएंगे, उससे कम हो सकते हैं डिपेंडिंग ऑन द क्वेश्चन डेटा, कि वो डेटा में नहीं दिया है तो वाली चीजें फिर कवर्ड नहीं होगी, है ना। अब इसी के नीचे लिखे बेटा, अनलेस अदरवाइज स्टेटेड comma, we will always follow, unless otherwise stated, we will always follow absorption costing statement, absorption method, absorption को inverted comma में, unless otherwise stated, we will always follow absorption, inverted comma में absorption method for reconciliation statement. क्वेश्चन ने कुछ भी नहीं बोला है, क्वेश्चन हैज नथिंग सेड अबाउट यूज ऑफ मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग टेक्निक और रेलिवेंट कॉस्टिंग टेक्निक, देन डेफिनेटली वी विल ऑलवेज प्रेफर द टेक्निक एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग. ये बाय डिफॉल्ट टेक्निक है टू प्रिपेयर द रिकंसिलिएशन स्टेटमेंट. नाउ अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग बेटा, वन वेरिएंस हैज बीन इंटेंशनली रॉन्गली रिटन बाय मी. एक वेरिएंस को मैंने जानबूझकर गलत लिखा हूं. You have to identify which variance I have written wrongly in this reconciliation statement. I am giving you a hint, providing you a hint that we are reconciling the profit. हम प्रॉफिट का रिकंसिलिएशन स्टेटमेंट कर रहे हैं. आप चेक कीजिए, रॉ मटेरियल, लेबर, वेरिएबल ओवरहेड, फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड या सेल्स में से कहीं ना कहीं इंटेंशनली आई हैव कमिटेड अ मिस्टेक. Identify that mistake, and that mistake is very common among the student whenever they prepare a reconciliation statement, है ना. So क्यों ना बेटा उस मिस्टेक को आज ही अपन आइडेंटिफाई कर ले कि that mistake will not be happened by us, will not be occurred by us, है ना. तो I am providing a solid hint. We are comparing the profit. तो आप चेक कीजिए इनमें से कौन सा वेरिएंस हमने गलत लिख दिया है ना, एंड व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दैट वेरिएंस. ओके बेटा, आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर आंसर बेटा. प्लीज रिवर्ट, ईच एंड एवरी स्टूडेंट शुड रिवर्ट विद देयर आंसर बेटा. इट्स अ रिक्वेस्ट फ्रॉम माय साइड. नो बेटा साईराम, दैट इज नॉट द करेक्ट आंसर. Please communicate your answer beta. I'm waiting for your answer. Very good Nisha, very good Priya, Garg, very good beta. The correct answer you have provided. Other student, please communicate. Okay, Priyanka, the answer is perfect, beta. Correct hai answer. Raghav, no, beta. The answer is not perfect. Please try once more. What could be the logical answer, that what's wrong in this particular statement? And I already provided you the hint that we are reconciling the profit. The correct answer is beta, since we are reconciling the profit, those variants should be considered which have a direct impact on profit. Raw material, labor, variable overhead, and fixed overhead all have a direct impact on profit. But in case of sales, we are having two approach. impact on turnover and impact on margin. And in this particular restatement, we are considering impact on profit, budgeted profit with actual profit. Therefore, the sales variance will be computed related to the margin approach, not the turnover approach. Related to the margin approach, not the turnover approach. Even if the margin approach is there, but still the price variance will remain same. We have already dealt with that concept of CA interbeta in the start of the session of standard costing, that sale price variance and sale margin price variance, sale price variance एंड सेल मार्जिन प्राइस वेरिएंस. एक काम करे बेटा, आप वो पेज निकाले जो अपन ने बेसिक में लिखा था सीए इंटर के रिगार्डिंग द सेल. एक बार वो पेज निकालिए बेटा, प्लीज ओपन दैट पेज. प्लीज ओपन दैट पेज. उसमें देखिए बेटा, पॉइंट नंबर मेरे ख्याल से 6 या 7 पॉइंट होगा इससे रिलेटेड कि सेल प्राइस वेरिएंस एंड सेल मार्जिन प्राइस वेरिएंस आर सेम. इट मींस दे आर इंटरचेंजेबल. While sale volume variance and sale margin variance will never be interchangeable. फिर उसी के नीचे देखिए बेटा, अपन एक फॉर्मूला लिखा था. If we want to compute sale margin volume variance through sale price variance, what is the formula? Please communicate. What is the formula? It's sale volume variance multiplied by budgeted NP ratio. To compute sale margin volume variance, the formula is sale volume variance multiplied by budgeted NP ratio. For very important point, that whenever reconciliation statement is to be prepared, we require sales margin variance, not the sales turnover variance. तो मैं चाहूंगा आप भी इस वर्ड को बेटा रेड पेन से इंडिकेट करिए. सेल्स मार्जिन वेरिएंस हमें चाहिए, न कि सेल्स टर्नओवर वेरिएंस. Sales margin variance we require, not the turnover variance. अब स्टेटमेंट की यहां पे लिखिए बेटा, जहां पे स्टेटमेंट आपने एंड किया. एक पॉइंट ऑलरेडी आप लिख चुके हैं, अनलेस अदरवाइज स्टेटेड. उसके बाद लिखिए थ्रू रेड पेन ऑनली बेटा, थ्रू रेड पेन ऑनली. Since we are reconciling the profit, we require impact on turnover. We require impact on turnover. Sorry, we require impact on margin. We require impact on margin and not impact on turnover. We require impact on margin and not impact on turnover. ठीक है बेटा, चलिए. So let's do one or two questions related to this reconciliation statement through absorption costing, and thereafter we will move towards the two remaining method, that is marginal costing and absorption costing. Now, I strongly recommend each and every student to drop single page related to the concept of marginal costing and relevant costing. So drop one page and thereafter write down whatever you want to write. Drop minimum one side page, because in that page we will write the concept of reconciliation statement through marginal costing and reconciliation statement through absorption relevant costing. So drop one page. After that you can write whatever you want to write. Okay, so let's start one of the questions from study material related to absorption costing reconciliation statement. Please open beta question number 4. It's available in page number 20. It's available in page number 20, question number 4. Page number 20, question number 4. Can I start this question, beta? देखिए, well-known footwear is a shop that focuses on shoes for various sports and activities like jogging, cricket, tennis, and hockey. Okay. So the client name is well-known footwear. It's in the shop of footwear business. Budgeted profit for the company is calculated considering an average selling price of 500 per pair of shoes and an average cost of 350 per pair of shoes. तो जो भी बजटेड प्रॉफिट फाइंड आउट किया गया है वो यह मान के किया गया है कि हमारी 500 रुपी कॉस्ट आएगी, हमारी 500 रुपी एवरेज सेल प्राइस होगी and the average cost will be 350. So there will be a budgeted profit of rupee 150 per pair of shoes. The supervision of the company has discretion in staffing and in setting the price. तो जो सुपरवाइजर है कंपनी का, उसके पास ऑटोनॉमी प्रोवाइड की गई है कि स्टाफ को कम ज्यादा कर सकता है नंबर्स में एंड रिलेटेड टू द सेल प्राइस को भी वो कम ज्यादा कर सकता है. यूजुअली द कंपनी स्टाफ for 650 hours per month at a budgeted rate of 125 per hour. नॉर्मली है ना, नॉर्मली हमारे पास 650 आवर्स पर मंथ की लेबर होती है और हम उन्हें पेमेंट करते हैं एट द रेट 125 पर आवर. इन एडिशन टू दिस बेस वेजेस, सेल स्टाफ गेट्स अ पेमेंट इक्विवेलेंट टू 5.5% ऑफ टेकिंग. इसके अलावा जो हमारी सेल्स टीम होती है उन्हें हम 5.5% अपने रेवेन्यू का भी देते हैं टेकिंग अ वेरिएबल पेमेंट. Moreover, staffing level are not expected to change in response to little change in shoe level. shoe sale. इसका मतलब बताइए बेटा आप, इसका मतलब बताइए मुझे. बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लाइन है ये वाली. आप मुझे इसका मीनिंग बताइए, इंटरप्रिटेशन क्या है आपका इसका. Moreover, staffing level are not expected to change in response to little change in shoe sale. इसका क्या मतलब है? What the author is trying to communicate to us. बताइए बेटा, जल्दी बताइए. आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर आंसर बेटा. What the author want to communicate through this particular line, through this particular language. Okay beta, the author is saying that staffing level are not expected to change with the little change in the shoe sale. Shoe sale mean volume. Volume के आधार पर your staffing level will not be changing. It means more or less staffing level are fixed. So staff level cost in this particular question will be a fixed cost, not a variable cost. तो ध्यान रखिएगा, जो staffing level के variance निकलेंगे that will be computed according to the fixed cost concept, not through the variable cost concept. Because of this particular line, staffing level are not expected to change in response to little change in shoe level, है ना. तो वॉल्यूम थोड़ा सा कम ज्यादा होने पर हमारी वेरिएबल कॉस्ट भी कम ज्यादा होती है proportionately. But in this particular question, staffing level cannot be termed as variable. Instead, it will be a part of fixed cost. For September 2020, company has budgeted sale of 2250 pair of shoes and 650 staffing hour. So एक मंथ का हमें डेटा दिया है, बजटेड डिटेल हमें दिया है कि बजटेड डिटेल हमारी 2250 यूनिट्स है और हमारे पास 650 का स्टाफिंग स्टाफ है. एक्चुअल रिजल्ट फॉर सितंबर 2020 आर एफ फॉलो. सो अभी तक क्या क्या हुआ बेटा इस पैरा में? यू हैव बीन प्रोवाइडेड द बजटेड सेल प्राइस इन द थर्ड लाइन. यू हैव बीन प्रोवाइडेड द एवरेज कॉस्ट पर पेयर इन द थर्ड लाइन. It means you are expected to earn a profit of 150. Okay. Next, The supervisor of the company is given the discretion in terms of setting the sale price and the hours of the staff. Normally, we are having a staff of 650 per month that will be paid at the rate of 125. In addition to that, they will be paid 5.5% of taking. For September 2020, company has planned a budgeted output of 2250 pair of shoes and the staffing are 650 hours. Now, actual result. Pair of shoes sold 2500. Revenue is 12 lakh. Cost of shoe is 8,25,000. Staff additional payment 66,000. Staff basic wages at the rate 125 per hour, 78,125. The actual profit is 2,30,875. Now the author has indicated what do you mean by little change? Little change in shoe sales specified as plus minus 12%. So please check it out, beta, whether the difference of 250 will be covered in plus minus 12% or it exceeded. If it exceeded, then it will be considered as a variable cost. Check कीजिए बेटा, 2250 minus 2500, ये जो 250 का वेरिएशन आ रहा है, whether this will be covered in plus minus 12% or not. बोलिए बेटा, कवर हो रहा है ये वाला 12% वाला? इट मींस चलिए बड़े आगे अब अपन। अब देखिए, अब सबसे पहले पॉइंट होता है यू टू कंप्यूट द बजटेड प्रॉफिट इफ नॉट गिवन। यस, बजटेड प्रॉफिट इफ नॉट गिवन टू अस, तो प्लीज कैलकुलेट। इट्स 2250 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 150, 2250 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 150। ठीक है बेटा, जो भी अमाउंट आया दैट इज नॉट इंक्लूडिंग द एडिशनल पेमेंट ऑफ कमीशन। फॉर एडिशनल पेमेंट है हमारा 500 रुपी की हमारी एवरेज सेल प्राइस है, मल्टीप्लाई बाय 2250 का 5.5% करिए आप, माइनस कर दीजिए, यू विल गेट द सेम आंसर 1,94,375 रुपी। ठीक है बेटा, इसका दूसरा तरीका भी इस प्रकार से भी आप कर सकते हैं, दैट 2250 इफ योर बजटेड आउटपुट, प्राइस पर शेयर इज 500, कॉस्ट पर शेयर इज 350, कमीशन निकाल लीजिए आप 500 का 5.5%, है ना। सो यू विल बी हैविंग अ टोटल रेवेन्यू ऑफ 500 इंटू 2250, इट्स 11,25,000। It's 350 multiplied by 2250 कीजिए, 350 multiplied by 2250, it's 7,87,500। स्टाफ को जो आपने एडिशनल पेमेंट करना है इन बजटेड, इट्स 22.5 इंटू 2250, एंड जो बेसिक वेजेस है दैट विल बी पेड अकॉर्डिंग टू 125 रुपी पर आवर, सो इट्स 81,250। क्लियर बेटा? अब यहां पे देखिए, अब आप एक्चुअल डिटेल, हमने यूनिट जो बेचा है वो 2500 यूनिट बेचा है। प्राइस पर शेयर पर पेयर ऑफ शूज कितना है, वी विल कैलकुलेट दैट वन। सो आइए बेटा, आप लीजिए कैलकुलेटर में 12 लाख रुपी डिवाइडेड बाय 2500, 12 लाख रुपी डिवाइडेड बाय 2500 कितना आया? 480 रुपी हमारी एक्चुअल सेल प्राइस है। फाइंड आउट द एवरेज कॉस्ट, 8,25,000 डिवाइडेड बाय 2500, 8,25,000 divided by 2,500, तो ये आ रहा है 330 बेटा। और कमीशन जो आएगा हमारा 480 का 5.5%, जो भी टेकिंग होगी आपका उस पर आपको 5.5% का कमीशन मिलेगा, है ना। चलिए, सो वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन और नथिंग स्पेशल अबाउट दिस क्वेश्चन बेटा। बस आपको रिकंसिलिएशन स्टेटमेंट अब इसमें बनाना है। फेल वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस और फेल प्राइस वेरिएंस जो आप लेंगे वो ध्यान रखिएगा, दैट विल बी रिलेटेड टू मार्जिन, दैट विल नॉट बी रिलेटेड टू द टर्नओवर, है ना। शू से रिलेटेड सिर्फ आप एक ही वेरिएंस निकाल पाएंगे बिकॉज यू आर नॉट प्रोवाइडेड विद द डिटेल ऑफ प्राइस ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल और प्राइस ऑफ अदर वेरिएबल कॉस्ट। तो एक टोटल वेरिएंस हमारा निकल जाएगा कि शू के रिस्पेक्ट में हमारा वेरिएंस कितना है। जैसे आप यहीं से देख सकते हैं बेटा, 330 रुपी आपकी एक्चुअल कॉस्ट आई है, वाइल द स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट इज 350। तो 20 रुपी पर पेयर ऑफ शू में आपने बचाया है ना। मल्टीप्लाई बाय 2500 शू, तो मल्टीप्लाई कीजिए बेटा 2500 इंटू 20, इट विल प्रोवाइड यू अ फेवरेबल वेरिएंस ऑफ 50,000। सिमिलरली आप कमीशन का भी देखेंगे बेटा, तो कमीशन बजटेड कमीशन था 27.5 वाइल द एक्चुअल कमीशन इज 26.4। तो 1.1 रुपी का कमीशन आपकी जेब से नहीं गया है। मल्टीप्लाई बाय 2500 यूनिट, इट विल प्रोवाइड यू द आंसर ऑफ 2750। तो बड़ा ही सिंपल क्वेश्चन है बेटा, नथिंग स्पेशल अबाउट दिस क्वेश्चन, है ना। चलिए, अब आते हैं अपन अपनी सेकेंड मेथड में, दैट इज द मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग मेथड एंड द रेलिवेंट कॉस्टिंग मेथड, है ना। निकालिए बेटा अगेन वही पेज रिकंसिलिएशन स्टेटमेंट का, marginal costing method and reconciliation and relevant costing method. Marginal costing and relevant costing method. क्या सिमिलरिटी है और क्या डिफरेंस है इनमें एज कंपेयर टू एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग मेथड। तो देखिए बेटा, अगर हम बजटेड प्रॉफिट की बात करेंगे तो जो बजटेड प्रॉफिट आपका एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग में यूज हुआ है, द सेम बजटेड प्रॉफिट will be applicable for marginal costing and relevant costing. There is no change in that. एक्चुअल प्रॉफिट भी बिल्कुल सेम रहने वाला है, इसमें भी कोई भी डिफरेंस नहीं है, whether we are computing the reconciliation statement through marginal costing और relevant costing method। ये वेरिएंस यहां पे भी आते हैं। बस यहां पे आपको पहला चेंज मिलेगा, वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस ऑफ फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड will not be there in marginal costing or relevant costing. Whenever we are preparing reconciliation statement through marginal costing method or relevant costing method, fixed overhead volume variance will not be there. Fixed overhead volume variance will not be there, है ना। क्यों नहीं होगा fixed overhead volume variance in case of marginal costing and relevant costing? The logic is very simple beta. Marginal costing and relevant costing are the decision making technique. Repeat with me beta, this is very important. Marginal costing and the relevant costing method are the decision making technique, and as per the concept of decision making, fixed overhead will be considered as a time dependent variance. Repeat with me beta, this is very important. As per the concept of decision making approach, fixed overhead will be considered as time dependent variance, time dependent, not volume dependent. टाइम के आधार पर वो चेंज होने वाला वेरिएंस है, वॉल्यूम के कम ज्यादा होने पर फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड वेरिएंस विल नॉट चेंज। दिस इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ marginal costing and relevant costing. Both the approach are for decision making purpose. I will make that write down beta, just wait for few minutes, है ना। तो पहला डिफरेंस समझ में आया आपको, वॉल्यूम फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस will not be there in case of marginal costing reconciliation statement and relevant costing reconciliation statement. Logic clear आपको, because both the technique are related to decision making, and decision making approach considered fixed cost as a time dependent cost, period cost उसको मानता है। They will not consider the fixed cost as the product cost, that is the production dependent cost. They will consider the fixed cost as टाइम डिपेंडेंट कॉस्ट, है ना। अब यहां पे भी ये डिटेल आती है, लेकिन थोड़ा सा चेंज है यहां पे। कंट्रीब्यूशन यहां पे आता है। सेल्स मार्जिन वॉल्यूम वेरियांस, सेल मार्जिन प्राइस वेरियांस की अगर आप बात करेंगे तो इन केस ऑफ मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग एंड रेलिवेंट कॉस्टिंग, the sales margin variance will not be consist of profit, it will consist of contribution, because whenever we use the marginal costing approach, all the decision will be taken based on PVR, that is profit volume ratio. In rupee term it will be called as contribution, है ना। तो लिखिए बेटा, डिफरेंस इन, नीचे लिखिए जो आपने वन पेज ड्रॉप किया था ना वहां पे लिखिए, डिफरेंस इन रिकंसिलिएशन स्टेटमेंट, difference in reconciliation statement prepared through, difference in reconciliation statement prepared through absorption costing method and decision making method, absorption costing method and decision making method। पहला डिफरेंस लिखिए बेटा, यूजिंग फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस, फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस, फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस डैश करके लिखिए, this variance will not be computed this variance will not be computed under marginal costing and relevant costing approach, under marginal costing and relevant costing approach, since they are considered as, since they are considered as, इन्वर्टेड कॉमा में लिखिएगा टाइम डिपेंडेंट, इन्वर्टेड कॉमा क्लोज, टाइम डिपेंडेंट, है ना। सिंस दे आर कंसिडर्ड एज टाइम डिपेंडेंट कॉस्ट अंडर डिसीजन मेकिंग, since they are considered as time dependent cost under decision making। सेकेंड पॉइंट लिखिए बेटा, सेल्स मार्जिन वेरिएंस, सेल्स मार्जिन वेरिएंस, सेल्स मार्जिन वेरिएंस, इसमें लिखिए आप सेल्स मार्जिन वेरिएंस में, इन मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग एंड रेलिवेंट कॉस्टिंग comma budgeted margin will be computed as budgeted margin and actual margin, budgeted margin and actual margin will be computed as budgeted sale price minus budgeted variable cost, actual sale price, पॉइंट वही आएगा बेटा ना, इन फेल वेरिएंस देयर विल नॉट बी द रोल ऑफ एक्चुअल कॉस्ट, है ना, एक्चुअल कॉस्ट का कोई रोल नहीं है, ये बजटेड कॉस्ट आएगा। तो क्या चेंज हुआ, हम यहां पर कंट्रीब्यूशन के द्वारा वेरिएंस फाइंड आउट करेंगे इन केस ऑफ मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग एंड इन केस ऑफ रेलिवेंट कॉस्टिंग मेथड, जबकि इन केस ऑफ एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग वी यूज द वर्ड बजटेड कॉस्ट, जिसमें फिक्स कॉस्ट भी शामिल होता है ना, जबकि इन रिकंसिलिएशन स्टेटमेंट प्रिपेयर्ड थ्रू मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग and relevant costing method, we will use the word budgeted variable cost. We will not consider the fixed cost deduction while computing the margin, sales margin variances under relevant costing and marginal costing. ठीक है बेटा, चलिए बहुत सारी चीजें हो चुकी है। सो आई विल प्रोवाइड यू टाइम ऑफ 3 to 4 minutes to read out all the points, all the content of reconciliation statement when prepared through absorption costing, when prepared through marginal costing and when prepared through relevant costing। एक बार पूरा आप सम अप कीजिए अपने लेवल पे, फिर अपन आगे बढ़ेंगे। एक नया अपने को वेरिएंस सीखना पड़ेगा बेटा, मार्केट साइज वेरिएंस एंड मार्केट शेयर वेरिएंस। thereafter we will move once again to the relevant reconciliation स्टेटमेंट अप्रोच, है ना। तो मैं आपको समय देता हूं 3 to 4 मिनट का। हैव अ क्विक रीडिंग ऑफ ऑल दी कंटेंट रिटन टुडे रिलेटेड टू रिकंसिलिएशन स्टेटमेंट। क्लियर है, चलिए। One more minute, beta. Please read out all the points related to reconciliation statement. One more minute are available with you. चलिए बेटा स्टार्ट करूं तो गिव द हेडिंग market size and market share variance. One more concept we have to learn before starting the reconciliation statement, that is market size and market share variance. Market size and market share variance. Okay, beta, let's start. I'm taking an example of mobile industry. मोबाइल इंडस्ट्री में हमारा क्लाइंट है सपोज सैमसंग, ये हमारा क्लाइंट है। बजट डिटेल और एक्चुअल डिटेल हमें दिया हुआ है। If you want to write, you can write this example, beta. Na? Through this example, we will derive the formula of market size and market share variance. Output. Suppose the output is 1 lakh unit. And output is 1,10,000 unit. है ना? प्लीज राइट डाउन नेक्स्ट लाइन। पहले आप लिख लीजिए बेटा, ये डिटेल लिख लीजिए। मोबाइल इंडस्ट्री का हमने एग्जांपल लिया है, हमारा क्लाइंट सैमसंग है। द बजटेड आउटपुट इज 1 लाख व्हाइल द एक्चुअल आउटपुट इज 1,10,000। नेक्स्ट लाइन में लिखे सेल्स मैनेजर Mr. A, sales manager Mr. A is demanding bonus based on the performance given above. Based on the performance given above. चलिए बताइए बेटा, हमने बजटेड सेल सोचा था 1 लाख while the actual units sold by the company is 1,10,000. Now sales manager Mr. A is demanding bonus based on his performance because not only he has achieved the budget, he has exceeded the sale of the company by 10,000 units. है ना? तो आप मुझे बताइए with yes or no, simple yes or no, whether Mr. A is eligible for bonus, yes or no. Please communicate fast, beta na. Whether sales manager A is eligible for bonus or not based on the performance, because budgeted output, budgeted unit to be sold if 1 lakh, while the actual unit that has been sold by a sales manager, Mr. A, if 1 lakh 10,000. So whether Mr. A is eligible for bonus? Yes, definitely, beta. So Mr. A is eligible for bonus. But if you want to truly analyze the performance of Mr. A, sales manager, you cannot take your decision entirely on the variance, sales volume variance. You must bifurcate your sales volume variance into two variance, market size variance and the market share variance. Then after a clear picture will be available with you, then only you can take an informed decision whether really the marketing manager, the sales manager has performed well or not. है ना बेटा? So लिखिए बेटा आप इसमें prima facie, it appears that sales manager has performed well since the actual unit sold is more than the budgeted unit. Since the actual unit sold is more than the budgeted units. Full stop. To take an informed decision, regarding the performance of sales manager, comma, we must bifurcate sales volume variance. We must bifurcate sales volume variance into market size and market share variance. Market size and market share variance. अगेन बेटा आप ये क्वेश्चन लिखिए, सेम क्वेश्चन आप कॉपी कीजिए अगेन विथ सम एडिशनल डिटेल. अगेन ये पूरा क्वेश्चन आप कॉपी कीजिए. Our budgeted output is 1 lakh unit, while the actual output is 1 lakh 10,000. Industry, the complete mobile industry is expecting to sell 5 lakh unit, while the actual unit sold by the industry is 8 lakh. So, first of all, we will compute the market size variance. पहले बताइए बेटा मार्केट बड़ा है या नहीं बड़ा है? Whether market size has been increased? Yes, market size has been increased. जो मार्केट 5 लाख यूनिट का था, इन द सेम मार्केट यू हैव सोल्ड, द इंडस्ट्री हैव सोल्ड 8 लाख यूनिट, तो द मार्केट हैव इंक्रीज्ड, द मार्केट हैव इंक्रीज्ड बाय 3 लाख यूनिट्स. बहुत बढ़िया. जिस इंडस्ट्री में हम हैं, इफ दैट इंडस्ट्री ग्रो, then definitely there will be equal chances for us also that definitely if industry is growing, we will also grow बेटा. जैसे अभी इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल, आने वाले 2-3 सालों में इंडस्ट्री और ग्रो होगी. If industry of electric vehicle is growing, then definitely each and every company right now engaged in those electric vehicle will definitely benefited by those, है ना. तो इंडस्ट्री हमारी बड़ी है 3 लाख से, बट we do not represent the complete industry. We represent 20% of the industry, because the industry output is 5 lakh. Out of that industry output, our contribution is 1 lakh unit. It means our budgeted market share is 20%. Our budgeted market share is 20%. So if industry have increased by 3 lakh, we expect to benefit that by 60,000 units. 3 lakh unit अगर इंडस्ट्री बड़ी है तो हम यह उम्मीद कर सकते हैं कि we will be having a benefit of additional sale of 60,000 units. ये समझ में आया बेटा? पहले आपको मार्केट साइज, इंडस्ट्री की बजटेड सेल कितनी है, इंडस्ट्री की एक्चुअल सेल कितनी है, कितनी सेल नेट बढ़ी या कम हुई. अपने क्वेश्चन में इंडस्ट्री की नेट सेल बढ़ी है कितने से? 3 लाख यूनिट से. क्या पूरी इंडस्ट्री की सेल हमें ही बिलोंग करती है? नो, वी रिप्रेजेंट 20% ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री. Indirectly we are having 20% market share. So 3 lakh multiplied by 20%, 60,000. What does 60,000 indicate? That we must benefit by additional sale of 60,000 in an increased market sale of 3 lakh units. है ना बेटा? लिखिए. अब आप इसमें लिखिए मार्केट साइज वेरिएंस. इसमें सबसे पहले वी विल कंप्यूट वन रेशियो बजटेड मार्केट शेयर. वन लाख यूनिट्स डिवाइडेड बाय 5 लाख यूनिट्स इज इक्वल टू 20%. है ना? लिखिए बेटा इसमें आप. The budgeted sale of industry is, the budgeted sale of industry is 5 lakh units, while the actual sale of industry is, 8 lakh units. Comma, thus the market has increased by 3 lakh unit, and in that we must be benefited by 60,000 units. We must be benefited by 60,000 units. That is 20% market share. That is 20% market share. तो क्या फॉर्मूला बन सकता है बेटा इसका? नेक्स्ट लाइन में लिखे आप फॉर्मूला. बजटेड सेल ऑफ इंडस्ट्री, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड है. budgeted sale of industry minus actual sale again industry की multiply by budgeted market share. यही किया बेटा हमने. budgeted market share इन परसेंटेज टर्म 5 लाख माइनस 8 लाख. 3 लाख से इंडस्ट्री बढ़ी, उसमें हमारा बजटेड मार्केट शेयर 20% था. हमारे लिए अच्छी बात है. बट इफ यू वांट टू कंप्यूट इन रूपी टर्म्स, देन वी विल मल्टीप्लाई इट बाय बजटेड मार्जिन. तो ये रूपी टर्म में हो जाएगा. सो इट्स मार्केट साइज वेरिएंस. क्या लगता है बेटा? आई विल आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन. विद सेल्स मैनेजर परफॉर्मेंस will be based on market size variance. If it is controllable from the viewpoint of sales manager, then definitely credit or responsibility will be fixed related to market size variance. But if it is uncontrollable from the viewpoint of sales manager, then definitely market size variance will not be a criteria to evaluate the true performance of sales manager. Please share your views, beta, whether market size variance is controllable or uncontrollable from the viewpoint of sales manager. Based on that logic, you will decide whether market size variance can be used to evaluate the performance of the sales manager. Please take your time and provide me your logical answer, beta. Na? I'm waiting for your answer. Please communicate your answer, beta. I'm waiting for your answer. Whether market size variance is controllable or uncontrollable from the viewpoint of sales manager, that logic will decide whether sales market size variance can be used as a performance measurement tool to evaluate the performance of the sales manager. Okay. I have got the answer. The sales manager cannot be evaluated on the basis of market size variance because increase or decrease in the industry of sales is not in the hands of a particular sales manager. So from sales manager viewpoint, this market size variance is uncontrollable. Please write down beta this point through red pen. Market size variance is uncontrollable. Write down this word in inverted comma, uncontrollable. Market size variance is uncontrollable, inverted comma close, from the viewpoint of a particular sales manager. Full stop. Therefore, this variance can be termed as planning variance. याद आ रहा है बेटा? Planning variance, uncontrollable. This variance can be termed as planning variance. मतलब कोई क्रेडिट नहीं दे सकते, जैसे अपने अभी क्वेश्चन में 60,000 फेवरेबल आ रहा है, सो नो क्रेडिट विल बी गिवन टू सेल्स मैनेजर के मिस्टर ए. They have to actually perform that 60,000 favorable, then only we will provide them a bonus, है ना? तो अब आइए आप बेटा मार्केट साइज वेरिएंस तो अपना हो गया कंप्लीट. अब आते हैं अपन मार्केट शेयर वेरिएंस. आप चेक कीजिए वेदर कंपनी सेल्स मैनेजर मिस्टर ए is able to maintain its market share, or whether market share has been reduced or market share has been increased. I'm giving you time beta from time of 30 to 60 seconds. Think on your own whether sales manager Mr. A is able to maintain its market share or market share of company has been decreased or it has been increased. I'm giving you from time of 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Please think over it beta. Then we will proceed accordingly. market share has been decreased. So Mr. A is not eligible for any bonus, not eligible for any bonus. There can be two methods to compute the true performance through market share variance. The first method, beta, due to increase in the industry, what additional sale we can expect? 60,000 unit of additional sale we can expect. But by comparing the actual data of sale, we came to conclude that we have sold only 10,000 additional unit, while due to increase in industry unit, we must expect to sell additional 60,000 unit as per our market share, while we will be able to sell only 10,000 additional unit. In other words, our market share of 50,000 unit has been transferred to some other company due to the negligence or the incompetency of sales manager Mr. A. This is the first approach कि 50,000 से हमारा मार्केट साइज वेरिएंस एडवर्स आ रहा है, जिस मार्केट में हमें मिनिमम 60,000 एडिशनल यूनिट्स बेचना था. In that particular market, we have just sold 10,000 units. So there will be an adverse variance of 50,000 units. The second approach. What if the actual industry size? It's 8 lakh unit. What if the actual industry sale? It's 8 lakh unit. To maintain our market share of 20%, we must sold 1,60,000 unit. 8 lakh multiplied by 20%. To maintain our market share, we must sell 1,60,000 unit. That is, our actual output should be 1,60,000 unit. While the actual output is just 1,10,000 unit, it means our market share has been decreased by 50,000 units. Okay, beta? So this is controllable from the viewpoint of sales manager. So whenever we have to evaluate the performance of sales manager, we will always prefer the market share variance and not the market size variance and not the sales volume variance. We will always prefer sales market share variance. This is the true reflection of the performance achieved by the sales manager. लिखिए बेटा, हेडिंग दीजिए market share variance. market share variance लिखिए. The actual sale of industry is 8 lakh unit, 8 lakh unit, 8 lakh unit. The actual sale of industry is 8 lakh units. While to maintain our market share, our actual output should be 1,60,000. While the actual output is just 1,10,000 unit. While the actual output is just 1,10,000 units. Comma, it indicates that our market share has been decreased. It indicates that our market share has decreased. Comma, which will result in adverse variance. What should be the formula, beta? लिखिए formula लिखिए आप. Its actual sale of industry multiply by budgeted market share multiply by budgeted market share minus actual output of company. This whole will be multiplied by budgeted margin if we want to compute in rupee terms. फॉर्मूले को बेटा आप रट नहीं सकते हो, है ना? Please listen very carefully. You don't be able to mug up the formula. You have to understand it logically. That's why we have created an example of mobile industry beta. Through that example, we can easily derive the formula, है ना? So formula आप आगे पीछे कर सकते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. But the logical sequence should be there while solving the question, है ना? चलिए बड़े बेटा, तो the real performance will be judged from the viewpoint of only market share variance. लिखिए बेटा. The market share is controllable. The market share variance is controllable from the viewpoint of sales manager, comma. Therefore, performance evaluation will be done. Therefore, performance evaluation will be done based on market size variance. अब उसके नीचे लिखिए बेटा, sales margin volume variance will be bifurcated in two parts. Market size variance and market share variance. Market size variance and market share variance, and through market share variance we will evaluate the performance of the sales manager. Okay beta, now we will take a break. After the break we will be able to solve the question on reconciliation statement through marginal costing method, है ना बेटा? Break लेते हैं अपन 10 से 12 minutes का. Then we will move towards the question of reconciliation statement through marginal costing method. Okay, beta. So break is till 8:30. We will meet sharp at 8:30 to start the question on marginal costing reconciliation statement. वेलकम बैक बेटा। चलिए अब आप आइए क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 में, पेज नंबर 22, क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, पेज नंबर 22, क्वेश्चन नंबर 5। स्टार्ट करें क्वेश्चन। देखिए पेज नंबर 22 बेटा, क्वेश्चन नंबर 5। ओके, आई विल वेट फॉर 10-20 सेकेंड so that each and every student join the session. Okay, let's start now beta. Question number 5. Osaka Manufacturing Company, OMC, is a leading consumer goods company. The budgeted and actual data of company for the year 2021 are as follows. So the company name is Osaka Manufacturing Company. You have been provided the yearly detail of budget and actual. Particulars, budget, actual and variance. Sale/production, 2 lakh unit has been budgeted, while the actual unit sold is 1,65,000. That is 35,000 units is not able to sold by the company. Sales 21 lakh rupee, 16,92,900. Variable cost हमें दिया हुआ है, fixed cost हमें दिया हुआ है, and the budgeted profit and actual profit is being given to us. The budgeted data shown in the table is based on the assumption that total market size would be 4 lakh unit, but it turned out to be 3,75,000 unit. जो ऊपर budget दिया गया है, that is based on the assumption that total market size would be 4 lakh, while actually it is 3,75,000. Required, prepare a statement showing reconciliation of budgeted profit to actual profit through marginal costing approach for the year 2021 in as much detail as possible. Okay, beta? Now, my question starts. What is the most important words in this requirement part of 2 line? जो 2 line का आपको requirement part दिया है बेटा, इसमें सबसे important words क्या है? Please communicate to me. What is the most important words in the requirement part? Please communicate fast, beta. I'm waiting for your answer. Okay. What is the most important words you feel in the requirement part? Okay, Priya, marginal costing approach. Surya Lodi, marginal costing approach. Yes, beta, correctly identified. Undoubtedly, marginal costing approach word is important. It guides us that we have to prepare a reconciliation statement through marginal costing approach. But apart from that words, marginal costing approach, undoubtedly that is the important word. Because if that word has not been given, we will prepare our statement through absorption costing approach, not the marginal costing approach. So undoubtedly that word is important. But apart from marginal costing approach, there are few more words in those requirement part which is very, very important. Identify those words and tell me its implication. उस word के होने से क्या implication आएगा, communicate it to me. I am waiting for your answer. Other student beta, please, you should also participate in the discussion part beta. It's a request from my side that each and every student who is live now is requested to join the discussion part. Okay, Naveen Prakash and Nisha, I agree with you beta. The words you provided are the other important words. The first important word is marginal costing. The next set of important word is correctly identified by Naveen Prakash and Nisha. Now tell me, Naveen Prakash and Nisha, what is the importance of those words? What will be the implication of those words? You have correctly identified the remaining important words. And now tell me its implication. No, Naveen Prakash, beta. That is a very diplomatic answer that we have to give all possible variants. Tell me its proper implication, beta. No, Fairam, beta. So the important words, apart from the marginal costing approaches, in as much detail as possible. In as much detail as possible. What does this indicate word in as much detail as possible? It indicates that since you have been given the market detail, the budgeted market unit are 4 lakh unit, the budgeted actual units are 3,75,000. In as much detail as possible indicate that you don't have to compute the sales margin volume variance. In place of sales margin volume variance, you have to bifurcate that sales margin volume variance into two parts: market size variance and market share variance. Please write down in your copy, beta. Illustration number 5, page number 22. Please write down question number 5, page number 22. First point. The reconciliation statement is to be prepared through marginal costing approach. Marginal costing को inverted comma. The reconciliation statement will be prepared through marginal costing approach. Second point, the requirement part contain the words. The requirement part contain the words. Inverted comma में लिखिए, in as much detail as possible. The requirement part contain the words in as much detail as possible. Inverted comma close. Dash, it indicates that since you have been provided the industry detail also, since you have been provided with industry detail also, comma, we must bifurcate the sales margin volume variance. We must bifurcate the sales margin volume variance into market size variance and market share variance. Market size variance and market share variance. चलिए बेटा स्टार्ट करें तो देखिए रिकंसिलेशन स्टेटमेंट हेडिंग दीजिए आप पहले कंपनी का नाम लिख दीजिए OMC फिर लिखिए आप नेक्स्ट रिकंसिलेशन स्टेटमेंट फॉर नेक्स्ट लाइन में फॉर द ईयर 2021, फॉर द ईयर 2021। Budgeted profit and actual profit. Check out beta if budgeted profit and actual profit are being provided to you. Budgeted profit and actual profit. Check out the detail beta whether budgeted profit and actual profit are being provided to you. Yes, we have been given the budgeted profit and actual profit. Therefore, we don't have to calculate the same. It's 5,19,000 and it's 2,88,750. Okay, beta. We have not been provided the material detail. You can check the question. Labor detail or variable overhead detail. In place of that, combinedly, we have been provided the variable cost detail. So there will be no material variance, no labor variance, no variable overhead variance. In place of that, there will be variable cost variance. नेक्स्ट फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड में कितने वेरिएंस कंप्यूट होते हैं बेटा? दो वेरिएंस कंप्यूट होते हैं, एक फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस एंड फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड एक्सपेंडिचर वेरिएंस. बट इन दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन वी विल ओनली फाइंड आउट फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड एक्सपेंडिचर वेरिएंस. कैन यू टेल मी बेटा व्हाई? Although for your comfort I am writing this variance, volume variance, but in examination you should not write this one. I have written it as not applicable. मतलब यहां पे फाइंड आउट होना ही नहीं है ना. इट्स नॉट डैश, इट्स नॉट अप्लीकेबल. जल्दी से मुझे कम्युनिकेट कीजिए बेटा व्हाई देयर विल बी नो फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस इन दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन. द लॉजिक इज वेरी सिंपल. We are preparing the reconciliation statement through marginal costing method, and under marginal and relevant costing method, fixed overhead is considered as a time dependent cost, not a volume dependent cost. So there will not be any volume variance related to the fixed overhead. Related to the sales margin, this is very important. This is very very important. Volume variance को हम यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट ना करके we will calculate sales filling. We will calculate market side variance and market share variance. ये हमारे द्वारा यहाँ पे कंप्यूट होगा. एंड द नॉर्मल पॉइंट इज प्राइस वेरिएंस तो जैसा कंप्यूट होता है वैसा होगा ही होगा. नथिंग स्पेशल अबाउट दैट, है ना बेटा. ये आपका पूरा फॉर्मेट हो गया रिगार्डिंग द वेरिएबल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस. फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड में वॉल्यूम कंप्यूट ही नहीं होता है बिकॉज वी आर फॉलोइंग द मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग अप्रोच. सेल्स मार्जिन में वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस ना फाइंड आउट करके, हमें सेल्स मार्जिन वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस ना फाइंड आउट करके वी विल फाइंड आउट मार्केट साइज एंड मार्केट शेयर वेरिएंस. क्लियर है बेटा? चलिए, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल कंप्यूट द बजटेड मार्जिन एंड एक्चुअल मार्जिन. तो वर्किंग नोट अपन स्टार्ट करते हैं बेटा. Computation of budgeted margin and actual margin. computation of budgeted margin and actual margin. क्या क्या डिटेल दिया है बेटा हमें? बजट एंड एक्चुअल, सेल प्राइस हमें फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा। रेडीमेड यहाँ पे कुछ भी आपको अवेलेबल नहीं है बेटा। इट्स 21 लाख डिवाइडेड बाय 2 लाख, 21 लाख डिवाइडेड बाय 2 लाख। ओके, और यहां पे 16,92,900 divided by 1,65,000. So 21 lakh divided by 2 lakh, it's equal to 10.5 rupee. And 16,92,900 divided by 1,65,000, it's 10.26 rupee. Regarding the cost, variable cost, not the cost, because we are computing the margin under marginal costing, therefore it will be computed through contribution approach. Variable cost, the calculation is 12,66,000 divided by 2 lakh units, 10,74,150 divided by 1,65,000 unit. What is the answer, beta? It's 6.33. And 10,74,150 divided by 1,65,000, it's 6.51. Please write down one very, very important sentence. While calculating the margin, comma, variable cost is considered and not the total cost, because contribution approach is applicable, in marginal costing and relevant costing. Because contribution approach is applicable in relevant costing and marginal costing. क्लियर है बेटा? चलिए, अब आप मुझे जल्दी से बजटेड मार्जिन निकाल के बताइए और एक्चुअल मार्जिन मुझे निकाल के बताइए. व्हाट इज द अमाउंट ऑफ बजटेड मार्जिन एंड व्हाट इज द अमाउंट ऑफ एक्चुअल मार्जिन? ये आप मुझे जल्दी से कंप्यूट करके बताएं बेटा. व्हाट इज द अमाउंट ऑफ बजटेड मार्जिन पर यूनिट, that is budgeted contribution per unit, and actual margin, that is actual contribution per unit. Okay, I am giving you 1 minute time बेटा. देखते हैं कौन स्टूडेंट सबसे पहले करेक्ट आंसर देता है ना. Okay, Nisha beta, it's 4.17 and 3.75. Okay, we'll check. Other student, please communicate your answer beta. What is the budgeted margin and actual margin as per contribution approach? Do it fast beta. So remember always that actual cost has no role whatsoever while computing the margin. We have already understood the logic that sales team cannot be held responsible for the cost incurred in the production department. Sales department can only be responsible for increase or decrease in sales volume or increase or decrease in sale price. So therefore, the calculation will be 10.5 minus 6.33. It's 4.17 and 10.26. And importantly, again, the budgeted variable cost, there will be no role of actual cost. Okay, beta. So 10.26 minus 6.33. So it's 3.93. 3.93. क्लियर है बेटा? ये हमेशा ध्यान रखिएगा, बहुत ही कॉमन मिस्टेक है ये, बहुत ही कॉमन मिस्टेक है कि हम एक्चुअल कॉस्ट कंसीडर कर लेते हैं व्हाइल डिटरमाइनिंग द एक्चुअल मार्जिन. क्लियर बेटा? चलिए, नवीन कुमार, okay beta, Furia Lodi has computed the correct answer. Priya has computed the correct answer. Okay, okay beta, चलिए बढ़ते अपन आगे. Clear हुआ? Now we have to find out the market size and market share volume along with the price variance. ठीक है? What is the budgeted sale price? 10.5. What is the actual sale price? 10.26. So there is a reduction in sale price. Whether that will be favorable or adverse, that will definitely be adverse. So अगर हम इसका statement बनाएं, if we prepare the statement, there will be 3 columns, 1, 2, and 3. Every column will be a multiplication of output into margin. Output into margin. The first column will be the budgeted output. Remaining column will be the actual output. It's actual margin, it's budgeted margin. Okay, beta. We have already computed budgeted margin 4.17. Actual margin is 3.93. Actual output is 1,65,000. Budgeted output is 2 lakh. We don't have to compute the sales margin volume variance, but for our clarification, we will definitely find it out and thereafter compare it with market size and market share variance. So multiply kare beta, 2 lakh into 4.17. It's 8,34,000. It's 6,88,050. It's 6,48,450. So the difference of column number 2 and column number 3 is due to the price, that is the margin variance. So it is the price variance. What is the amount? 6,88,050 rupee minus 6,48,450. So it's 39,600 rupees favorable or adverse. adverse because the budgeted margin is more while the actual margin is less. Since sale is related to income, any reduction in actual will be a adverse one. So 39,600 will be the adverse variance. तो यहाँ पे लिख देंगे बेटा price variance 39,600 will be adverse and all the adverse variance will be deducted. क्लियर है बेटा? चलिए बड़े अब अपन आगे. We will compute the sales margin volume variance, but just for our purpose. Sales margin volume variance is not to be considered why in reconciliation statement because of the word in as much detail as possible. In as much detail as possible. तो हम अपने लिए कंप्यूट कर लेते हैं अब ताकि हम अपने आप को प्रूव कर पाए कि यस you have correctly computed the market size and market share variance. So it's 8,34,000 minus 6,88,050 rupees. $8,34,000 minus 6,88,050 rupees. So it's 1,45,950. 1,45,950. Tell me whether it's favorable or adverse. Again, it will be adverse because budgeted volume is 2 lakh units while we have just sold out 1,65,000 units. So there will be an adverse variance of 1,45,950. But this variance will not be utilized in the reconciliation statement. You have to bifurcate this into two parts. Market size variance and market share variance. Okay बेटा? So हम second working note अब तैयार करते हैं इसका. Market size and market share variance. So what are the details given to us? Budget, actual, output of company name is OMC, output is 2 lakh, output is 1,65,000. Industry output is given just before the requirement part. It's 4 lakh unit and 3,75,000. What is the margin? We have already computed the same. It's 4.17 and 3.93. Okay. And what is the budgeted market share? We can easily compute that one. Budgeted market share. It's 50% beta. 2 lakh divided by 4 lakh. 2 lakhs divided by 4 lakh. So it's 50% budgeted market share. So I'm giving you beta 3 minutes time to calculate on your own market size variance and market share variance. And only budgeted margin will be used in case of volume variance because difference in margin we have already computed. आप ये चेक कर सकते हैं बेटा वॉल्यूम वेरिएंस में हम कौन सा मार्जिन कंसीडर करते हैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ बजटेड मार्जिन. सो इसी के हमें दो पार्ट करना है. सो देयरफॉर ओनली बजटेड मार्जिन विल बी कंसीडर्ड. नो रोल ऑफ एक्चुअल मार्जिन इन मार्केट साइज एंड मार्केट शेयर वेरिएंस. इसका अभी फिलहाल कोई भी रोल नहीं. तो ये डिटेल के आधार पे आई एम गिविंग यू 3 मिनट टाइम टू प्रोवाइड मी द आंसर ऑफ मार्केट साइज वेरिएंस and market share variance. I am waiting for your answer, beta. Okay, Nisha, very good, beta. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes more so that other student can also answer the same. Okay, guys, let's start it. So we will first calculate the market size variance. Okay, market size variance. It's uncontrollable. It's a planning variance. What is the industry output? It's 4 lakh. What is the industry actual output? It's 3,75,000. So the industry sale has been reduced by 25,000. So if industry sale has been reduced, definitely it will impact us also. What is our budgeted market share? 50%. If industry is down by 25,000, we can expect our sale to be also down by 50%. That is 12,500. And what is the budgeted margin? 4.17. So the answer is 12,500 into 4.17. So the answer is 52,125. फेवरेबल और एडवर्स? इट्स एडवर्स वन बेटा, क्योंकि इंडस्ट्री का वॉल्यूम कम हुआ तो हमारा वॉल्यूम भी कम होगा. So it will be a adverse situation for us. For 52,125 will be the market size variance. Okay, beta. Okay, Priya, you have correctly computed the same, beta. Nisha, now it's correct answer. And what about the market share variance? What is the actual sale of industry? It's 3,75,000. Out of 3,75,000, what we are supposed to achieve? 50% of that. So this is the expected sale in the recessionary period, while the actual sale of our is 1,65,000. Calculate kare beta, 3,75,000 multiply by 50%. 3,75,000 multiply by 50%. It's 1,87,500. इतनी सेल होनी चाहिए थी. Even in the low market, even in the low volume market, we are expected to have a volume of 1,87,500, while the volume is just 1,65,000. It means we have not maintained our market share. Our sale has been shifted to our competitor by 22,500 units multiplied by a budgeted margin of 4.17. तो कैलकुलेट कीजिए बेटा. 22,500 से हमारी सेल डाउन हुई है, मल्टीप्लाई बाय 4.17. So it's 93,825 एडवर्स. क्लियर हुआ बेटा? अब आप इन दोनों का एक बार टोटल लगाइए. 93,825 प्लस 52,125. It will be same 1,45,950, because ultimately it's a bifurcation of sales margin volume variance, market size and market share variance. ठीक है बेटा? तो अब आंसर लिख दीजिए आप. 52,125 एडवर्स in reconciliation statement. It's 52,125 एडवर्स और दूसरा है 93,825 एडवर्स. ये भी एडवर्स है. 93,825 adverse. Clear, beta? Now, fixed overhead expenditure variance is given in the question. 15,000 adverse. We can write that one. 15,000 adverse. So only the last variance if remain, that is variable cost variance. Check it whether variable cost variance is given in the question. If it is given in the question, we will not calculate that one and directly write the variance. If it is not given in the question, then definitely we have to find it out. तो समय बेटा आपके पास, एक बार आप चेक कीजिए अपने लेवल पे whether variable cost variance is given in the question or not. Yes or no? Variable cost variance is given in the question or not? Yes or no, beta? Revert. वेरिएबल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस हमें क्वेश्चन में दिया हुआ है या हमें फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा एंड वेदर इट इज फेवरेबल और एडवर्स. Please communicate fast, beta, whether it is given in the question variable cost variance or not. I don't require the accurate answer. I just require revert with yes or no. Okay, beta, it's not given in the question. That is the trap of the question. It's not given in the question. Because in case of production dependent variance, the golden rule number 1, in case of production dependent variance, that is the variable cost variance, we compare the actual cost with the standard one, not the budget one. ये जो variance आपको दिया हुआ है, that has been computed by comparing the actual with the budget. While in case of variable cost variance of material, labor and variable overhead, that is production dependent variance, we compare the actual detail with the budgeted one. Very, very important point. While the variance given in the question is simply the difference between budget and actual, while the logical answer should be, it should be compared with actual with the standard one. And what is standard? Budgeted output के लिए 12,66,000 रुपये है. सो एक्चुअल आउटपुट के आधार पर जो बजट प्रिपेयर किया जाएगा, दैट विल बी नोन एज स्टैंडर्ड. ओके बेटा. सो चलो बेटा कैलकुलेट करते हैं. वेरी गुड निशा एंड प्रिया, यू हैव प्रोवाइडेड द राइट आंसर बेटा. सो वी हैव टू कंप्यूट द वेरिएबल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस. लिखिए आप इसमें वर्किंग नोट नंबर 3. इसमें राइट डाउन कीजिए बेटा. द वेरिएंस गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन is not acceptable since the variable cost variance has been computed while the variable cost variance has been computed, comma, comparing the actual with the budget. While, comma, while the logical comparison should be, while the logical comparison should be actual with the standard. Actual with the standard. क्लियर है बेटा? चलिए तो अब देखिए, we will find out the standard variable cost. 12,66,000 rupees if for an output of 2 lakh, while standard, that is revised budget, will always be prepared on the basis of actual output 1,65,000. So 12,66,000 divided by 2 lakh into 1,65,000. So it's 10,39,500. जो आउटपुट आया है आपका 1,65,000, that should be prepared, produced within 10,39,500, while the actual variable cost is 10,74,150. So there will be an adverse variance related to the variable cost. What is the amount? Minus 10,74,150. So it's 34,650 will be the adverse variance of raw material. समझ में आया बेटा? बहुत ही अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. Although the length of the question is very small, but the content is super in as much detail as possible. फिर जो variable cost वाला point है बहुत बहुत अच्छा point है. So again, this variance is also adverse, 34,650. Now you can tally your reconciliation statement. It will be tallied 100%, no doubt about that, beta. Please make a calculation whether 5,19,000 minus all these variances. There are no favorable variances in the question. Whether you will get the correct answer 2,88,750 or not. Please check on your own, beta. Okay, tell it, beta. And the second, there is a single requirement part in this question. Okay. Now I am providing you a complete 10 minutes time to do a similar question on your own right now, beta. Right now. There is a question in test your understanding part. You have to do that question right now so that this concept can be finalized. Just a minute, beta. I will find out that one. I think there is a question, one more question on this marginal costing. I am not able to find out. Can you help me with the beta? Okay, I have found it out, beta. It's question number 8, available in page number 56. Question number 8, available in page number 56. These are the details not at all relevant while solving the question. So just read it out once, nothing, not the second time. The question start right from here. Almost similar question as we are done right now. Just it will be provide you a more knowledge about the reconciliation statement done through the technique of marginal costing. Something new is there. Try to figure it out what's new and prepare a reconciliation statement of actual to marginal costing method in as much detail as possible. So complete 10 minutes are available to you. Utilize each and every minute of this 10 minutes for your betterment. Okay. For 10 minutes, I am giving to you to solve this particular question in class itself. Question number 8. Okay, Sainam beta, but I require the complete answer beta, na? Not a single element answer. I require the complete reconciliation statement. Yes, Nisha, you have correctly identified beta. Other student, please listen. The difference between the question we have just completed and this question is, in that question we have been given the market detail, okay, the industry budgeted volume and industry actual volume, while in this question you have not been given the actual detail, but instead of that you have been given the planning variance. You can check on the paragraph just after the statement, the management accountant of FFW, the sales volume contribution planning variance. So planning variance means its market size variance has already been computed 26,062.5. So you can easily compute the market size variance with the help of sales contribution variance with sales planning variance. Okay बेटा, करिए, मैंने आपको हिंट दिया हूं बेटा, आप एक बार अपने लेवल पर ट्राई कीजिए कैसे आप इस चीजों को फाइंड आउट करेंगे, है ना? देन आई विल गाइड यू. 4 minutes are still left with you, beta. Na? Please give your more than 100% to solve this question. Okay, beta. Can we start now, beta? चलिए देखिए. सबसे पहले we will find out the budgeted profit and actual profit. Both are given in the question, so no need to find it out. Budgeted profit और actual profit हमें दिया हुआ है. Fixed overhead से related expenditure variance ही compute होगा. There will be no fixed overhead volume variance because the technique we have to use is the marginal costing method. So the fixed overhead expenditure variance is budgeted expenditure of 157,500 minus actual expenditure of 1,65,000. It's 7,500 adverse. It has been given. In the last question also, this detail cannot be compared related with variable cost. So we have to find out the standard variable cost. So what is the standard variable cost in this particular question? So beta, the standard variable cost, it will be standard variable cost. It's 6,33,000 if for a budgeted output of 2 lakh unit, while the actual output is 1,65,000. So it will be the standard variable cost. This standard variable cost will be compared with the actual variable cost of 8,46,450 to get the variable cost variance. तो चेक कर लेते बेटा, जो भी वेरिएंस आ रहा है वो ऐसे निकल जाएगा आपका वेरिएबल कॉस्ट का. नाउ इंपॉर्टेंटली सेल्स है ना. सो व्हाट इज द बजटेड सेल प्राइस एंड एक्चुअल सेल प्राइस, वो कंप्यूट कर लीजिए आप. 10,50,000 divided by 2 lakh. So the budgeted sale price is 5.25, while the actual sale price is 846,450 divided by 1,65,000. So it's 5.13. Okay बेटा. So इसका statement जो आपने बनाया होगा, that statement will look like this. Budgeted output. There will be 3 columns. Every column will be a multiplication of output into margin, output into margin, output into margin. It's budgeted output, actual margin, budgeted margin. Budgeted output has been provided to you. It's 2 lakh rupee, 2 lakh units. Actual output is 1,65,000. 1,65,000. We have to compute the budgeted margin and actual margin. Okay, so budgeted margin is equal to 5.25 is the actual sale price minus budgeted cost. Actual margin is 5.13 minus budgeted cost. So what is the budgeted cost? It's 6,33,000 divided by 2 lakh units. So it's 3.165 rupee budgeted cost. And while computing the actual margin also, we should consider only and only the budgeted cost. So what is the answer, beta? 3.125, 5.25 minus 3.165. It's 2.085. And the actual margin is 5.13 minus 3.165. So it's 1.965. It's 1.965, 2.085. It's 2.085. Okay, so tell me the answer, beta. It's 1.965 multiply by 1,65,000. It's 3,24,225. It's 3,44,025 rupees. $2 lakh multiply by 2.085. It's 4,17,000. This will be the sales margin price variance. This will be the sales margin volume variance. Now, very important thing, the requirement part contain the word in as much detail as possible. It means we don't have to use the sales margin volume variance. Instead of that, we have to use the sales market size variance and market share variance. But what's the problem given in the question if you are not given the detail of actual industry size, but instead of that, planning variance has already been given to you. So we know that sales margin value variance is the total of market size variance and market share variance. So in the balancing figure, we will find out the market share variance. तो पहले इसका टोटल निकाले बेटा. It's 4,17,000 minus 3,44,025. So it's 72,975 if the adverse sales margin volume variance. Clear है? तो अब ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. Since you know sales margin volume variance is the total of market size plus market share variance. Okay? आपको ये पता है कि ये आंसर है आपका 72,975 एडवर्स. Market size has been given to you in the question because the important word is planning variance, that is uncontrollable. And what is uncontrollable? Market size or market share? Market size variance is the uncontrollable one. It's the most important word. It's sale volume contribution planning variance. Indirectly, they have given you the market size variance 26,062.5 paisa. So it's 26,062.5 paisa adverse. So you can easily find out the market share variance. Find it out, beta. What is the market share variance? So it's 46,912.5. 46,912.5 adverse is the market share variance. Okay, बेटा, any doubt in this particular question? अंतर समझ में आया आपको? जो क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 आपने किया और जो आपने ये वाला क्वेश्चन किया, the only difference is in the earlier question we have computed both the variance share variance. That we can easily compute the market share variance with the equation part. Okay, बेटा, कोई डाउट है इसमें तो पूछिए आप मुझसे. Yes, Priya, we can also find it out, beta, the market, the actual sale of industry, no doubt about that. But if there is a simple way, we can use that one to find out the variance. Beta. Chali, कोई doubt beta इस particular question में? Okay, now we are left with one very, very important question on reconciliation statement that has already been asked in the examination for 20 marks and once again for 10 marks. In that particular reconciliation question, we will be having reconciliation through absorption costing in the same question, reconciliation through marginal costing and reconciliation through relevant costing method. So we will do that most important question of reconciliation statement on the next session, that is on coming Tuesday. Please download that one. Please download a PDF before joining the session. But I will upload the PDF of that particular question on most probably Monday, till Monday evening. Okay, coming Monday evening. So download that one because if hard copy is possible, make a hard copy of that question. That's a very, very important question in which a single question will be done through all the three methods: reconciliation statement, marginal costing, relevant costing, and absorption costing. Till now, we have not done any concept related to relevant costing reconciliation statement. Whenever we solve that question, I will explain you how to deal with relevant costing reconciliation statement. Okay, beta. So for today, we will end the session now. We will end the session now, beta, because I'm having a scheduled Saraswati Puja at 10 in my office, so I have to go there. So for today only, we are closing the session much before the time, that is 20 minutes before the time, beta. No? Okay, beta. Thank you for watching the session. Have a great day ahead, beta. Thanks a lot. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you.
Recording stopped.